We've all felt this, the specific weight of standing still while an entire crowd rushes in the opposite direction. It's that sharp feeling of isolation when your beliefs suddenly put you at odds with everyone around you. But Islamic history offers a different view. This story reaches back through 124,000 prophets, forming a single sequence of survival spanning millennia. Every figure carried the exact same message, La ilaha. As societies forgot his example, the historical cycle of cultural pushback and prophetic resistance began to accelerate. Consider Nuh. He spent 950 years calling his people back to the truth while they mocked him daily. He faced a society where fathers literally trained their children to hate him, creating generations of institutionalized hostility. He was ordered to build a massive ship on dry land. For centuries, he endured absolute social isolation, a pressure so intense that it eventually reached his own home, where his son chose the rising floodwaters over his father's ship. Nuh's mission changes how we define success. It means maintaining the work and holding your course, even when the results are invisible and your neighbors label you insane. Ibrahim arrived in a society ruled by a tyrant and obsessed with idol worship. Every marketplace was filled with statues that people believed controlled their lives. Ibrahim used logic to find his way out. He observed the stars and the moon and the sun and realized that a creator could not be something created, something that vanishes when the dawn breaks. His people responded by throwing him into a massive fire. In that moment of total physical danger, Ibrahim relied on absolute trust in God, refusing to let fear of his community break his resolve. Eventually, Ibrahim and his son Ismail raised the foundations of the Kaaba in a barren desert, physically anchoring the message of monotheism in a place where it could never be moved. Standing for the truth often places you in direct opposition to the culture you grew up in. Ibrahim showed that you can stand alone and still be right. As the chain grew, the challenges scaled. Musa was tasked with confronting Pharaoh, the ultimate political tyrant, armed with nothing but a wooden staff and the backing of his lord. Later, Isa brought spiritual purity back to Jerusalem, but he faced a different kind of friction, betrayal and rejection from a corrupted religious establishment that saw his miracles as a threat. These lives offer a method for keeping your moral center even when the political and religious systems around you have completely failed. By the 7th century, the world had fallen into 600 years of silence. Ibrahim's Kaaba was now surrounded by 360 idols, and the original message of the previous prophets had been fractured and lost. Muhammad withdrew from this society to a mountain cave called Hira. It was in this silence that the overwhelming first revelation of the Quran arrived, re-establishing the thread of guidance. The persecution he faced was a synthesis of everything that came before: social boycotts that led to starvation and constant mockery, multiple attempts on his life. The pressure finally forced him into exile. He left his home and everything he owned, migrating across the desert to Medina to protect the message from being extinguished. Muhammad's struggle was the climax of this entire sequence, a final test to see if the message could survive the ultimate weight of human rejection. The ultimate payoff arrived 8 years later. Muhammad returned to Mecca with 10,000 followers, standing face to face with the very men who had once tortured his companions. There was absolutely no mass execution or revenge. He looked at his former enemies and said, "Go, you are free." He removed every idol from the Kaaba, returning the sanctuary to the pure worship Ibrahim had established thousands of years earlier. With his mission complete, the final message, the Quran, was perfectly preserved. Every letter was recorded and protected to ensure it could never be altered again. The cycle of societies forgetting and corrupting the message was broken. The foundation was finally sealed. This history isn't just about the past, it's about right now. When you feel anxiety or rejection for doing what is right, you are holding the same thread that survived Nuh's great flood, survived Ibrahim's fire, and Muhammad's exile. All of the heavy lifting has been done. The prophets sacrificed their lives to build and protect the message you are holding today. They did their part to deliver it. The only question that matters now is what you will do with it.